This is a car that I have been meaning to bring to you for about a year because it's a car that you have probably never heard of. I know I hadn't. This is Marianne's Skoda, and you're probably looking at that if you know anything about cars and going, oh, that's a Fabia, that's quite nice. It's not a Fabia. We found this completely by accident. We were out looking for a car for Marianne. We had a very fixed budget of £10,000. We were looking for something like a Golf or a Seat Leon. We went to Plymouth to look at a Seat Leon and it wasn't there. And I said, well, we're here, we'll just pop into a car supermarket. And we were having a wander around and I saw this and I thought, what's that? That's not a Fabia, it's too big. It is a Rapid, a Skoda Rapid. I have never heard of a Skoda Rapid. So we got the keys and we had a look. We thought, you know, this is actually really nice. So we took it for a test drive and it drove brilliantly. And we said, well, we can't just buy it, can we? We don't know anything about them. So we went away and we had a think. We tried to find some more to look at. There was one other for sale, which was with Skoda. We went and had a look at that. It wasn't as nice as this one. So we went back and we bought it. This is a 2018, and when we got it, it was 2 years old, just past 2 years old, 10,000 miles on it, and it was just under £10,000. And I don't think you will find a better £10,000 car than this. It's brilliant. So let me tell you a little bit about it. This is a Rapid Spaceback. They do a saloon version and they do the Spaceback, and the Spaceback is the sort of hatchbacky thing at the back here. But it's a little bit more than that because they do an S and they do a SE Tech and they do an SE Sport. This is the SE Sport. What that's giving us is these rather funky alloy wheels. It's also giving us a full panoramic glass roof, which is really nice. It's also giving us the fact that the glass, it's a bit of an odd thing this, I don't know why, but the glass comes all the way down, normally stops there, this comes right down to here. It just finishes it off really nicely, but it just seems a strange thing to be an extra. But it's a brilliant, brilliant little car. It's got a 1 litre turbocharged engine, 3-cylinder. It's 108 horsepower, which if you think about it, is what a Golf GTI used to be. Back in the 90s, I had a Mark II, that was 110 horsepower. So not very powerful by modern standards, but certainly back in the day, that was quite peppy. And it does go very well. But look at the inside, because it's the inside, I think, that really attracted us to this car. So because this is the SE Tech, it's got things like these lovely sport seats. These are really nice, all beautifully quilted with a built-in headrest. You can see that panoramic roof now. But how lovely are those? They've got all the nice stitching on the edge of them, centre armrest in it, and it's really well spec'd. So inside it's got a 6.5-inch touchscreen, and if I turn the ignition on, there's the key gone, here we go. Stick the clutch in so I don't fire it off down the road by mistake. There we go. It's got parking sensors on it, it's got a 6.5-inch touchscreen, it's got navigation on it, it's got phone on it, it's got everything. Love this piano black treatment in here, it looks really smart. And it's just a very, very nice car. You've got a central display here as well. That puts up things like, well, at the minute, the fact that the door is open. I don't know how well you can see that. If I close that, there we go, it's moving to telephone now. And then over here you've got, let's put it onto navigation. There we go, that's navigation screen. Also got climate control, so rather than just air conditioning with this one, you simply set the temperature and it adjusts everything to maintain that temperature for you. Centre armrest in it. It's just a really nice, well-equipped, beautifully finished car. But there's another interesting thing about it, and that is the amount of space that it's got in it. So I've got the seat set for me, I'm 6'2", and that's absolutely fine. Remote controls on the steering wheel as well. There's cruise control on here as well, that's controlled by this. It's a really, really good spec. Electric windows all round. But look in the back. Oh, hello, it's telling me off. There we go. Get the key back out. See, even here, the way they finished this. I think it's a brilliant car. Actually, there's something else that this car's got as well, which I forgot to mention, which is that it has the style pack. And the style pack is things like the black finish to the mirrors and the privacy glass at the back. But look at this. Okay, that seat is set for me, and yet I'm not quite sure what this is. I think it's a picnic blanket. I could sit in here, and look at that. I've got room in the back as well. So 2 6'2" people in a car of this size, and it feels roomy because you've got that big glass roof. This has got blinds that come across it, so you can do that if you want to. It's just like a boat review, isn't it? How cool is that? And you think, okay, well, it's got lots of space in the back, must have a tiny boot, but it doesn't. That boot, and I looked this up before I came out, is 415 litres. If you drop the seats down, it's 1,380 litres. It's split folding seats. And that is apparently bigger than a Golf, which makes you wonder how they do it. And I think that how they do it is because it only has little engines in it. So whereas the Golf, they have to have a bonnet big enough to take, I think the biggest ones are a 2 litre for the GTI or the R. This has just got this little 1 litre 3-cylinder. So not a lot of this car is bonnet. But isn't that a really lovely machine? We're really taken with it. I say Marianne's had this now for a year and a half, I think. It's just brilliant. She drove it to Ireland and back a couple of weeks ago. It was for 12 hours either way, including the ferry, and it was brilliant. Kids in it, just went really well. So there we go. I think that is probably the best £10,000 car that you've never heard of. Certainly we hadn't. Let's go and take it for a drive. This is just a little interlude because Marianne's wandered off, and I suspect she's gone to look at this church. Let's go and see if we can find it. But isn't this beautiful? We're down in St Mary's in Paynton at the moment, and yeah, this is a lovely place. And there's Marianne up there in the dead centre of town. Dead centre, do you see? Because it's a graveyard. Dead? No, never mind. Here she is. Look, she's just had her hair done. You can tell, can't you?
Nicely played.
I was just thinking, you know, you don't see this in a Shmee video, do you? You don't see him in the middle of a road test going, oh, that's a nice church, let's go and have a little look. Where's Marianne gone? That kind of stuff.
It's a very pretty church. Unfortunately, it was closed.
Oh, that's a shame.
To come back.
It is lovely though,
I do
isn't
like
it?
a little church.
I know you do. I know you do.
Scoping out places for you, pet.
Do you think it'll be comfortable there?
Oh yes, I think we found a nice spot.
I want some of the sea view though.
Oh well, you know, bits here and there.
Okay.
It's the best way to dispose, I find.
Fair enough. Yeah, they'll never find the body then, will they?
Yeah.
Marianne's just putting the cones back, bless her. We moved those when we got here. A little bit of illegal parking. Never did anybody any harm. Yeah. I think she's ruined any chances she's got getting to heaven. Oh, hang on. I should point out another feature is it's got a facility where you can set it so that when you hit the unlock, it only unlocks the driver's door, which is a nice touch. And when you drive off, it all locks up again.
Yeah.
Very good.
You enjoyed looking at my lovely car?
It's a beautiful car.
It's a good car, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice colour.
It is a lovely colour. Should we tell them about you getting into the wrong? No, let's not do that.
Repeatedly.
Okay, if you've not seen it, check out Marianne's channel. I backed up your videos earlier, including the ones that haven't gone up yet. Guess how many videos you've made so far?
30.
61.
No.
Yes.
Wow.
I know.
Prolific.
Prolific is the word.
About what?
All sorts of
videos.
shit.
Never a true word spoken.
Very good. Could you hold this for me?
Certainly.
Right. Oh, hang on. I'll tell you what you need to do here. Hold on. No. You don't see this on Shmee, do you? There we go. Right. We're going to go and find a bit of road and have a bit of a drive. So this is, as I mentioned earlier, a 1 litre 3-cylinder turbo. And what's nice about that is that there we go, because it's turbocharged, it's got a lot of power low down. You don't have to rev it to make it go. If it's really low down, if you just have a tick over it, does kind of bog down a little bit because the turbo's not spinning, and then as soon as you get to 1500, it's away. And it's not a car that you ever feel you have to thrash. And for a little engine car, it's actually very nice. It's pretty refined too. Skoda, as you probably know, part of the VW group, and therefore you find all sorts of little VW and Audi tricks. For example, my favourite one, and the reason I like this is because they do this not to sell the car, but just to make it better. Because I bet 99.5% of people don't even know their cars do this. If you put this car into reverse and the blower's blowing quite strongly, you can hear it go into recirculate mode so that it's not pulling the petrol fumes back into the car as you reverse over them. And as I say, they've not done that to try and make people buy the car because nobody knows that it does it. I only discovered it by accident. And that's what I like about the VW Audi cars and all the cars of that product group, is the fact you get these little bits of detail engineering that are there just to make the car a little bit better, just to make your ownership experience a little nicer. I think that's excellent. Anyway, we're going to go and find an open bit of road where we can really max this beast. Let's rock. Okay, we found a bit more open road, and this is what it's like. It's actually very quiet, a little bit of engine noise, not too much, and very willing and easy to keep up the traffic. It's not going to set your hair on fire, but it is perfectly good, and as I mentioned earlier, you don't have to rev it because it's a turbo engine. It's just got plenty of mid-range pull. Very torquey. I'm sure Jeremy Clarkson could do. Of course, Jeremy Clarkson can do this better. He's a flipping motoring reporter. That's a silly thing to say. Here's a roundabout. See, you never see Jeremy Clarkson going, and here's a roundabout. I think I should watch more Jeremy Clarkson, and then I get the hang of this. Okay, here we go. Right, we're going for full throttle. Oh, yes. That's all right, isn't it? Nearly 70. That's not nearly 70 flat out. I hasten to add, that's just as fast as I went. I think that the road test portions of my car videos are the best bits. I think they're cohesive, they're easy to watch, they're not rubbish. Okay, this is it. Second gear. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Perfectly sufficient. And there's a 6-speed gearbox, so I can go back there, and that now is doing 70 miles an hour. It's doing just over 2,000 RPM, and the combined economy for this car, certainly, I looked this up because I'm pretty technical. The combined economy for this car, they reckon, is 61 miles to the gallon. And certainly I think we found it to be very economical. It's an excellent car, but it's quiet enough, and it's smooth. It's got a very nice leather-bound steering wheel. It's just a nice place to be. And as I mentioned earlier, for a sub £10,000 car, I don't think you can beat it. I think it is the best sub £10,000 family hatchback in the world. Copyright Jeremy Clarkson, 1991. That's about it. I think I'm done with road testing now. I think it's probably as much as anybody can take, especially Marianne, who's having to hold the GoPro. We will catch you on another one. Don't forget to check out Marianne's channel. I shall put a link in the description, and I'll put a little bit link to hers at the end of the video as well. And you might even see this car starring in it, and you'll be able to say, I've seen a road test of that done by that alcoholic, motorholic idiot. Well, I don't know where you'd want to, but you could. That's it. We're out. Toodle pip. Bye bye. Say bye bye, Marianne.
Bye, Marianne. I could tell you about my car much quicker.
Go on.
It's a Skoda. It's grey. It's 1.0 engine. Put petrol into it.
What else do you know, Marianne?
I'm thinking.
Okay.
Racking brains. Can you hear the rattling sound?
Did you know that it was a 1 litre before I mentioned it in my video 5 minutes ago?
Yeah,
did you?
No, I did, yeah.
Okay, how many cylinders has it got, Marianne?
All of them.
Excellent.
It's got all the cylinders it needs, and they're all nicely arranged. 6 gears.
Yep.
Plus reverse, so 7 strictly. What else do I know with my car? Cracking little motor. I like this car. You know, Nick did that driving bit. Would have been much punchier if I was doing it.
That much is true. Yeah, you always need to find an extra couple of inches of throttle movement, and the rest of us can't find. Poor car.
Fear. That's what it is. It's fear.